Hello, all. Welcome back. It is This Day in History for August 21st, 2024. And as you know, it's not about the year, but about the magic and the history of the day. And we actually have a short one. It's like one page, so it shouldn't take too terribly long. So let's get into it, shall we? Birthdays. The first birthday is 1904. Count Basie is an African American musician of the jazz variety. Uh, was into uh, big band style, piano, um, you name it. Was big in the jazz community. 1930, Princess Margaret, British royal. She was born on this day. Um, Another one, 1936. That was the year my stepdad was born. Wilt Chamberlain. He was an American basketball player. He was an actor. Um, he was African American and 7 feet tall. Was an amazing basketball player. Um, Good rivals with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and a few others, but he was I said actor, so he was actually in Conan the Destroyer in the mid '80s. I mean, you had this big, tall guy. Um, Arnold Schwarzenegger tells a story about hanging out with him and Andre the Giant, and it was like you know uh, so Arnold is like what 6'6", 6'7", maybe 6'5", somewhere in there. I'm not sure how tall he is, but it's kind of like the old, uh, looks like a stair step, right? So here's Arnold, here's Wilt, here's Andre the Giant. He said that there was one time that he and Andre had dinner, and he was going to pay, and Andre wouldn't allow him to pay. And in fact, Andre picked him up like a small child and put him up on something up there to kind of keep him distracted while he went and paid the bill. So it was kind of funny. um, but yeah, Wilt Chamberlain, he was born on this day. 2 years later, in 1938, Kenny Rogers. He was an American singer, songwriter of the country genre. He was also an actor. He was in a lot of westerns. Quite a few of them were basically depictions of some of his songs that he sang. The Coward of the County was one that he was in. He Six Pack was another one where he was a race car driver. He'd tow his race car behind a Winnebago motorhome, kind of thing. Um, I always liked him growing up. When I was into country music as a kid, I mean, I grew up into country music until I discovered that I really, really liked rock and roll at the age of 12, thanks to my cousin who lived with us at the time. 1973, Sergey Brin is an American entrepreneur. He was born on this day, and I looked up what big business did he? Well, he's one of the creators of Google. So, happy birthday, Sergey! And of course, we talked about Usain Bolt, Jamaican athlete. He was the 2016 gold medalist, four-time medalist, I believe. We talked about him recently. Well, today is his birthday. He was born in 1986. That was the year my stepdad passed away. So, happy birthday, Usain, Sergey, and the rest of them have passed. Go back into history. We're only going as far back as like the 19th century. 1808, Brigadier General Arthur Wellesley used his thin red line of infantry to defeat French General Andoche Junot's forces at the Battle of Vimiero. It led to the British controlling the. It led to the British controlling Portugal. 1831, Nat Turner began an unsuccessful slave rebellion in the American South. Eventually got 60 people killed before being stopped by a 3,000-man militia. 1858, the famous debates in Illinois between Abraham Lincoln who was the Republican nominee, and they're debating for the Senate seat, where he was debating against the incumbent Senator Stephen A. Douglas, who was a Democrat. These series of debates began on this day in 1858. 1942, Disney releases Bambi in theaters. 1959, it is on this date in 1959 that Hawaii becomes our 50th United States. It was admitted to the Union on this day in 1959. On this day in 1987, Dirty Dancing, starring Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, was released in theaters. It became a huge hit almost immediately, and it's been one of the enduring hits of the 80s. 1991. Okay, so this is like fall of the Soviet Union, or it's kind of like all that cascading effect. So it's on this day in 1991 that Latvia decides that it's going to declare its independence from the Soviet Union. So it's all starting to ravel and unravel and come apart for the Soviet Union. We talked about Gorbachev being, who that replaced him, and then they brought him back. And realistically, they only brought him back so I think, if I'm understanding it right, they only brought him back so that he could easily transition the power from the old Soviet regime to the new Federal Republic of Russia, which Boris Yeltsin was the first president of. 2017 is the first time in 40 years the continental United States experienced a total solar eclipse viewed from Oregon to South Carolina. I remember this day. I just got off work. I worked graveyard at the time at a circuit board manufacturing plant. They gave us these special glasses, and we watched it. We watched, it wasn't as what I thought it was going to be. I thought everything was just going to go pitch black. I mean, pitch black. And it really didn't. It really felt like you were just in the shade for maybe all of 15, 20 seconds. I do remember taking a picture of it with my cell phone, and I took a picture of it just as it was, and then I posted it. And so here's the sun, and here's the moon coming over it, like this. Moon coming over it, so it's eclipsing it. But there was this little object up here, right? And my camera had zoomed in as far as it could go. It's it's just like a little speck. Who knows what it was? I don't know. Maybe it's aliens. No, I don't know. Giorgio, you're a moron. I just say that right now. For context, I'm talking about Ancient Aliens. I don't like that show. I don't like the host of that show. I think he's a hack. His thing is he is so bamboozled, and he's so of the belief that aliens exist that when he finds something that he can't identify, instead of recognizing that he doesn't have enough information to scientifically identify this phenomena, he's like, oh, there's no evidence to prove otherwise, that i.e. it's automatically aliens. I'm like, no, no, you're a fool. Sorry. So that was kind of the last thing that happened on this day in history. So here is a featured event that happened on this day in history. The year is 1911. The Mona Lisa is stolen from the Louvre, which that's the museum there in Paris, by 3 Italian handymen. It's rediscovered a couple years later. And because of the media sensation of it, I guess they're making it sound like that the Mona Lisa is so now when you say Mona Lisa, everyone knows what you're talking about. They know that you're talking about Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the Mona Lisa. It's internationally famous. It's a household name. They're making it sound like that up until 1913 when it was rediscovered, and a media sensation just like really sensationalized the case and helped make the painting world famous. That implies that like it was virtually an unknown until that point in time. So I find that interesting. One of his most famous works wasn't really all that globally famous until after it had been stolen and rediscovered 2 years later. So, yeah, good stuff. That is it. That concludes this day in history. I look like hell because again, I'm just going straight to the gym before I go to work. So that's it. Have a great day. Take care. Be blessed. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow on August 22nd for this day in history then. All right. Take care. Be blessed. Bye.